So here's a video of creating an image for a hard drive using a guidance forensic SATA IDE bridge. And notice it's hooked up to the SATA. It's powered on. SATA is detected. The host is detected. It's running through USB 3.0. The hard drive is taken out of a laptop. So this is just a SATA hard drive. And we're going to use Belkasoft Evidence Center to create that image. And here's the dongle for the license. And I have Belkasoft loaded right now. So we're going to create a case. And we're just going to call it the test case. And you can put the investigator in there. So I'm going to put me, which is Grabowski, and keep it at central time and where we want to put the folder. Now, normally we would put the evidence on a different drive because we do want to maintain our confidentiality, integrity, and availability, but we also want to maintain a chain of custody and chain of evidence. So we wouldn't want to put our evidence on a drive that we were looking at on our root drive. So, but this is just for test purposes. So I'm going to do a create, and it's going to open up that case, and then I will have the ability to add a data source to the case. So it's really easy to use. The case was created successfully. I'm going to click on add new data source, and I could do add data source, do a triage, or acquire. So I want to do acquire, and notice it has like a picture there that shows a computer with something hanging off of it. So that's basically what we're doing here. So we could either do a drive or a mobile or a cloud. So we can analyze hard drives from computers, or we can do mobile devices such as cell phones or tablets, and we can also analyze things from the cloud. So we're going to click on the drive, and it will load the data, and it shows the logical drives already hooked up. These physical drive zeros, this is the root drive that's in the computer, and that's a 232 gigabyte drive. And then we have a fixed drive here, which is 579 megabyte. That is the external drive that we're going to look at. So I'm going to click on that drive. And then we can have different image formats. So RAW and EO1, and then we can do a checksum on that. We'll get into what those things mean a little bit later, and if you should create a multi-part image or not. But just for now, I'm just going to do an EO1 image, and depending on the size of that, will determine how big your image size is. So we'll talk about those different things, why we should create different types of images, and then using cross technologies from either Belkasoft and Encase or FTK to determine how we want to manipulate these images. So it's now creating the image. It's in the task folder, and it's going to be relatively fast because I only did one slice of this computer. So the percentage is now at 25%, but we copied 176 megabyte, and we're doing this relatively fast at 8 megabits per second, and it gives us a timestamp. So what we're generally looking for is artifacts that we can find from this particular hard drive. Now this hard drive, I picked it. It is blank, basically. It only has an operating system on it. So we're not going to find too many things. Rather than what we're going to find is just stuff that we would see that would come with the Windows operating system. So we will be able to manipulate some artifacts looking at different images that may have been contained within that. So it says it created it in NTFS, and it is 579 megabytes. So that was relatively fast. and then we could carve it, and we'll talk about carving later. But this will determine how we would get artifacts from a particular device. And we're just going to keep everything on. So we're looking for chats and emails and pictures. And then we can hash it or ignore it, etc. So we're just going to go through that. Now, this software allows you to classify pictures for guns or pornography. It has skin detector. So if we were looking like at a child pornography case, we probably would want to turn those features on. This is the trial version, so it doesn't allow that. We can search for encrypted files, and then we'll start carving it. So now in the it will start doing that in the task, and then if we go back to the dashboard, we'll see that it's being analyzed. And as it's analyzing, it found one document so far, and we can search through those. We'll just give it a minute. Go back to artifacts here. And you notice here it's an image E01. It has 2 documents so far during the carve process, and we can start analyzing those on a forensic level.